No, I know Lori Lee's in here. Hi, Nicole. I'm having a great weekend so far. Had to clean up a whole bunch of stuff on my desktop. I had files everywhere. Oh my goodness. Almost couldn't see my background anymore. So now everything's organized, and then I had to take a whole bunch of stuff off my phone because that was starting to get full. Oh my God. It was a little late starting the live today. Doom scrolling. I've got a tweak in my shoulder that's like bugging the hell out of me. Well, I'm glad that you understand, Nicole. I do. We're getting close to the end of summer holidays, so. Hi, Lori Lee. All right, I'm going to start us off. I don't know how many people are going to get in here. It's a nice day out today. It's not blue skies. It's overcast here in St. Albert, but it's not too warm out, so everybody's probably out enjoying the fresh air. So welcome in, pour yourself something warm or cold to drink, and find your chair. It has been a long week and a full one, and before any of the numbers talk, I'm just glad that you're here. No pressure today. Take what is yours and let the rest float on by. And if this week has sat heavy, please hear me. You are not carrying it alone. If the worry ever gets to be too much, you can call or text 988 any hour of any day, and a kind voice will be there. Texting works the same as calling, which matters if picking up a phone is hard for you. There is no shame in reaching for it, and we look after each other here. So I always open our tea times with that. Making sure that, you know, there's no other quick comments in the thing, because it's not showing up on my phone for some reason. All right, so regarding the $200 top-up and the people who did not get it, so this has been the loudest thing in the group this month so far. So let us start here. If you were moved from AISH to ADAP in July, you are supposed to be getting a $200 a month transition benefit that holds your total where it was on AISH. Plenty of you have not seen it, and you have been saying so. So two things I want you to know. The first is that if two adults in your house both get AISH or ADAP and are in a relationship, the new 88% rule that started with the August period applies to the living allowance only. It does not cut the $200 top-up. So if your top-up looks short, that is not the reason. The second is one I would rather you heard from me than found out later. The $200 amount and the December 2027 end date are not in the regulation. The regulation creates the benefit but does not name a number and does not name an end date. So those come from the policy manual. I am not telling you that to frighten you. It is being paid and it is real. And I am telling you because a number set by policy and a number set by law are two different things. And you should know which one is yours. So if yours has not arrived, put it in writing to your zone office. Ask for the date it was authorized, the amount, and the date it will be paid. So a phone call where somebody says they are not sure leaves nothing behind. An email leaves a record. And I know that I say that a lot. Let me make sure. It's quiet today. All right, so something new coming September 1st. So Ottawa is adding a one-time $150 payment to the Canada Disability Benefit. It takes effect September 1st. You do not apply. It is automatic, and it comes as a lump sum. If you have ever received a CDB payment, even one single one, you qualify. And that holds even if you stopped receiving it since. So it is meant to help with the cost of getting the disability tax credit, which is what you needed before applying for the CDB. So one catch on who gets it. It goes to people who received the CDB. If you have the disability tax credit but never applied for the CDB, Canadian Disability Benefit, this one does not reach you. Now, the question everybody has been asking me, and I have an answer this week. Alberta takes back the regular monthly Canada Disability Benefit dollar for dollar. And it is the only province in the country currently doing that. So the obvious worry is whether they will take this too. They should not. And I can show you why. So Schedule 1 of the new regulation lists what a worker has to count as your income. So the Canada Disability Benefit is on that list, but it is on there with an exemption written into it. Money paid to offset the cost of applying for the disability tax credit does not get counted. So huzzah. That is what the $150 is. The federal government describes it in those exact terms. So on the face of the regulation, the $150 is not income and should not reduce your benefit. If yours does get reduced, the place to point to is Schedule 1, Section 1(1)(EI), and ask them, meaning ADAP, in writing which part of it they are relying on. I want to be square with you about one thing, though. If you ask ACE or ADAP to cover the cost, or if you asked, past tense, ACE or ADAP to cover the cost of your medical report for the disability tax credit, Alberta.ca says clients are required to pay the program back once the federal money comes through. That is not them counting the $150 as income. That is them getting back what they already spent for you. So that's a different thing. Same money, and it will feel identical when it happens. Now, if you've already signed a repayment agreement, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'd just stick to your repayment agreement. If that is you, ask your office in writing now whether they expect repayment out of the September payment, and it's better to know in August than to find out on the statement. So don't let yourself be short or blindsided with that one. And if the program did not pay for your forms, none of that touches you. The $150 is yours. So I did not find this one. Someone in the group read the regulation herself and brought it to me, and she was right, because I opened it and I double checked it. That is twice this month that somebody here has answered a question that I could not, which is awesome. Everybody's doing what needs to be done. Still super quiet. All right. I'm just going to copy that because I'm going to post it into the chat. So something that I got wrong on the 6th, and again in the escalation ladder on the 10th. So I published the 1-833-382-4081 number as though it were a general line for the whole province. It isn't. It is the South Zone only. So if you are anywhere else and you called it, that one's on me. There are 4 zone inboxes and no office-specific ones, so whatever anybody tells you. North Zone covers St. Albert and all of Edmonton. I'm going to post the number in there after I'm done reading them all. 1-888-644-1802, and it's North Zone AISH at gov.ab.ca. Central covers where is it here? The middle portion of the province. So what is it here? 1-833-698-9959, and it's Central Region at gov.ab.ca. Calgary, so all of Calgary, 1-866-334-6950, and it's calgaryash at gov.ab.ca. And then, of course, for Southern Alberta, it's 1-833-382-4081, and that is southash at gov.ab.ca. And the one thing nobody tells you, if you moved to a different part of Alberta this year, your zone moved with you. So somebody in here found that out this week after months of writing to an office that was no longer theirs. So important to know. And here's all those email addresses and phone numbers that I promised that I would post in the chat. I'm trying to keep up on all of it. Oh my goodness. But I don't want to jinx it. I'm glad that it's starting to slow down a bit with all of the changes, and it's starting to level out. Knock on wood. Because for a while there it was like holy hectic. So here's hoping that it'll continue to level out, and we'll just have small updates here and there that we have to compare notes for. All right. Now, there is no 18-month clock. There never was. So I keep hearing this one, and I want to put it down properly. There is no 18-month window to ask for a reassessment. Where that 18-month clock comes from, or where that 18 months comes from, is from the transition date for all of us that were transitioned from H to ADAP, and when our payment, our payment amounts will change to be effectively what the base amount is on ADAP. So when that $200 floor falls out from under us, that's that 18-month gap that everybody keeps talking about. The Premier keeps bringing it up. People in the groups keep going, oh my God, I only have 18 months to reapply. That's not the case. There is 18 months between our money being what it is right now to it being $200 less. That's where the 18-month thing comes from. All right, so the 18 months people keep repeating is the length of the transition benefit period. July 2026 to December 2027. That is a payment period. It is not a deadline to apply for AISH. I should have just read my notes. All right, so the government's own words are that the covered medical report is not time limited, and it is available whenever a client chooses to access it. Whenever. So if you have been rushing because you thought a door was closing on you, it isn't. So everybody can take that breath. I can't wait to get in there and talk to somebody at ADAP, because I have all of the all of the questions. I'm just going to go to the chat here. So, Lori Lee, your son's doctor wants him to pay for the reassessment and get the money back from ADAP. I would absolutely say no, because the chances of getting that money back from ADAP after he's paid out of pocket is probably slim to none. Yeah, Nicole, I agree. A 2 to 3 man job keeping up on anything. On everything. Yeah. I'm glad that people are sharing gathered information as well, Nicole. It's really making a difference here. The problem is the training if you can't do it. Well, I'm glad. Hold your ground on that one, right? Because he can, your son's doctor can either direct bill ADAP or AISH or whatever, Because they're both out of the same office now, and people keep on hearing, oh, well, it's an ADAP office, it's something special, and it's like, no, it's still AISH, it's just that now they have 2 acronyms instead of 1 when you call in. I would either get the doctor's office to direct bill, or get a, I want to say, invoice, and you can email it or fax it or whatever you need to do with that. Yeah, exactly. $67. What a bogus number, hey? A bunch of bastards. I'd really like to know what century they're pulling their numbers from, because it's definitely not the 21st. A doctor's medical for $67? Yeah, no, not in this century, thank you. Kid of mine doing? I keep on hearing rustling. I think he's playing with the fan upstairs. Alright. So, regarding turning 60. So, somebody asked me this week whether she should wait until she's turned 60 next year, because being 60 or over would put her back on AISH automatically. She was ready to hold still for a whole year on it. Being 60 or over was one of the reasons people stayed on AISH at the transition. And they even got that wrong. Okay? It applied to people who were on AISH on July 2nd. Or by July 2nd. So if your birthday was, July 3rd, you were shifted. It was a rule tied to that date. I cannot find anything published saying that turning 60 while you are already on ADAP moves you back on its own. And what the government's page does say is that if you transitioned in July and think AISH is the right program for you, a new application and eligibility review is required. That is the published route back, and as written, it reads the same as 59 and 61. Okay? I am not telling you turning 60 does nothing. I am telling you nothing published says that it does something. And those are not the same. So if this is your plan, ask the program in writing before you spend a year or more on it. Okay? I'm going to go back to the chat. Oh, I know the age 60 thing does, it does feel like discrimination, but the whole age 60 thing is just part of their exemption categories that they had prior to the transition. Now, I know this should still be fresh in everybody's minds, but they were fucking up all 4 of their, categories and people that were supposed to stay on AISH so badly that they were sending retraction letters saying, no, you're staying on AISH. Okay? So we know that they're not following their own rules or their own exempt list at that time of the transition, and people are still getting letters saying, oh, no, we transitioned you wrong. We shouldn't have moved you, blah, blah, blah. We've got lots of people or caregivers that are reaching out about family that are on PDD or received PDD or are receiving PDD, and they were all transitioned to ADAP. Big surprise. Oh, I know, Nicole, I know they always refuse to put anything in writing. So last night, somebody had mentioned that they had sent, oh God, how many was it? I'm going to go a dozen. Let's go with a dozen emails to the ADAP offices, and they hadn't heard anything back. So what I had informed them to do is you always want to add somebody to that CC list. Always. Don't just send it to your ADAP office. You want accountability, you want visibility, and you don't want these people to be able to go, oh, we never got the email. Right? So whenever we send anything to ADAP, you want to CC it to your local MLA. You can CC it to, I hate having to do this, but CC it to Marie Renault, the Shadow Minister of Assisted Living and Social Services. It's the only reason why I put her out there, right? But that's their job. as MLAs and as our appointed officials and as the opposition, to make sure that they're keeping ADAP humble. Okay? So always CC it to somebody that is higher than the program. Always. Alright, where is it here? I'm just gonna see if there's anything else really quick. Yeah, and it is. It's really funny that they're refusing to put things in writing, but I'm starting to get recordings of meetings with names and transcripts. It's amazing, you guys. Just being my regular old hemorrhoid self. I think they're going to start, hiding under their desks whenever they see emails come in with my templates. Serves them right. Anyways, next topic here. Can I go on a trip? Yes, go. Somebody nearly canceled a holiday that another person had paid for because of a rumor that ADAP now requires you to get approved before you travel. I went looking for that rule, and it does not exist anywhere I can find. So living in Alberta means where you live, not where you are standing on a Tuesday 2 weeks away, is not a change of residence. The reporting rules around leaving have always been about long absences measured in months. Okay? So the one thing worth 10 minutes before you go is your prescriptions. Your Alberta health card is accepted elsewhere in Canada for doctor and hospital care, but your drug coverage bills through an Alberta pharmacy network. So a pharmacy in another province may not be able to bill it directly. Call Alberta Blue Cross at 1-800-661-6995 and ask 2 questions. First one, can a pharmacy out of province bill you directly? And if not, what do I send to be paid back? Keep the proper printed pharmacy receipt, not the little till one. Then go and enjoy yourself. Okay? You know that all you have to do is phone that employment place that's on that service letter, Nicole, and let them know, hey, you know what? I have an elderly father that I have a planned vacation to go and see, and these are the days that I'm not available. That's it. You're still participating in their bullshit, right? And you've given them a reason, and as to, I'm not available. You're allowed to be not available. Yeah. And there is a form on the website, too, for anybody that is, going into the hospital for surgery and they're not going to be available. There's a holiday one where you let them know, hey, I'm going out of province, or I'm not going to be around at my regular address, that kind of thing. So, like, temporary, change of availability. Okay? So, use them. Use them. That's why I built them. You are not a child. You are not asking permission to live your life. So if you need to go, go. And you just tell them, I'm not going to be here. It disconnected and then reconnected. Strange phone. Well, I looked like a cyclops for a second. Creepy. Alright. But yeah, I don't want to see anybody missing holidays or missing, vacations to see family or whatever it is that, is part of your rituals for the year. I don't want to see that at all. Because even if we were working, it would be time that we would specifically schedule off from employment. So, same thing. That's okay. You can fax if you need to, Lori Lee. I get it. I get it. I just don't have a fax machine here. That's like the only thing I don't have. All right. So if someone tells you that you will be kicked off, okay, so one of us was told on the phone this week that declining employment services could get her removed from the program entirely. Those are two different things, and they do not come from the same place. All right, so let's dive into that just because, okay? So the regulation gives a director power to reduce the amount of a benefit where somebody has refused or neglected an employment responsibility. The word in that rule is reduce. And a reduction like that can be appealed. Okay? Well, the whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna close this one off really quick, and then I'm gonna go to the chat on the computer because it's bigger. Where is it here? So being removed from ADAP is something else. Eligibility for ADAP is about your age. Living in Alberta, eligibility for ADAP is about your age, living in Alberta, citizenship or permanent residency, your income and assets, and the medical criteria. Employment participation is not on that list. There is a second word that matters just as much. So the rule turns on refused or neglected. If you are telling them you cannot, you are not refusing. For the people in the back, okay? If you tell them you cannot, you are not refusing. Whether they treat those the same is one of the questions going to the minister in writing, and it does not have an answer yet. So if you get that call, do not accept or decline anything on the phone. You do not owe anybody a decision that day, and put your question in writing instead. Fax or email. And write down the date and the name of whoever called. All right, back to the chat. Okay, start CCing, absolutely. I don't know why that message just came up. Oh my goodness. Worried about what happens to people if they find work. They will have to work. No. So, I think a lot of people are expecting that ADAP is simply standing there handing out, I don't want to say green cards because that's not the right one, and pink cards are like when you get turfed. Like people are just going to be, going into these offices and they're going to be handing out jobs, or it's going to be like raining applications and employers, and you just have to walk into the room, pick up the paper that you want and leave. Right? That's not the case for this program. So all that this AKG or Circo oh my goodness, cat hair. All that Circo and AKG are literally being paid to do is to sit with you, find out all about your medical determinations and stuff that's really none of their fucking business, to be honest. Okay? And to find out if you are employable. Right? So they are leaving, what is it? From that meeting with AKG and Circo, then they transfer you to an already well-established employment agency near you. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, okay? From there, we individually have to go out job hunting. Whether it's applying online or learning how to build a resume using AI, or finding or learning how to do job searches, that kind of stuff, okay? They're not going to be handing out employment, They're not going to be handing out positions. Because a lot of us, we need a lot of accommodations, and there are no employers that are going to deal with that kind of shit. Right? There's no incentive for hiring us. So, I think they just want to get an idea of how far they can push us, I really couldn't tell you. The only thing that's like the only thing that I can think of is they're just looking to throw money wherever they can, right? See, one of the things, Lori Lee, that came up, it's funny that you mentioned that about already doing a training program. Now part of the reason that we've been given from AISH in our reasoning for being transitioned is that a lot of us don't have any kind of employment training programs under our belts or listed in our files. Now, when I was on Alberta Works before getting onto AISH, many years ago, I did something, a program that I was forced into through Alberta Works called the Career Foundations Program. What a bunch of fucking overpaid bullshit that was. But that was one of their, you have to jump through this hoop or you're not going to get your money. Okay? So, I don't know if you're going to have to show where you've applied for jobs through. I don't know how they're going to want us to do that. That information hasn't been coming back yet. I think everybody's either hiding or recuperating after their meetings or whatever, but I'm hoping that, you know, gradually people are going to get back to me at least and let me know, hey, this is what's going on. I know, like, a lot of the things that I'm trying to go by is how Alberta works with their tiered system. So you have the, what is it? Their work for welfare program, right? Where you have to be looking actively for work in order to receive benefits, and they give you a printed sheet, and you have to fill it in as to all of these places that you applied for. I don't know if it was 15 or 25 places that you would have to apply for a month in order for them to release your check. Okay? I can't remember. Many years ago. Okay? Now, are they going to do the same thing on ADAP? I can't say definitively whether they are or they aren't because I haven't had enough information and I haven't gotten in the chair yet to talk to somebody at ADAP. Nobody wants to talk to me. I wonder why. Okay? Now, when something comes back as to what their expectations are, if it's specific to region, if it's, you know, different for AKG versus Serco, then I'll be able to give a little bit more information about what we're going to be looking at when we get there. But there just hasn't been enough communication from anybody that's currently going through the process. And I really think that it's because of all of the other issues that have cropped up, right? So this is our second, well, we just finished having our first payment under ADAP, right? Because our July payment was still under AISH. So our first payment was with ADAP at the end of last month. So for July, right? Or for August, because it's a month behind, or whatever. We're paid for the following month, the month before. So I'm not sure if it has to do with people not getting their checks, or like there's so much that is up in the air all the time, you know, month to month with all of this transition shit. So as soon as people kind of start letting us know, hey, this is what's going on, then we'll have a little bit more information. That would be fantastic, Nicole. I can't wait. Like, I've gotten some information, but not enough. Like, I don't want to... I don't want to say, oh, well, this is what happened for sure for one person, and then say this is law, right? This is what's happening across the board. Because that, if it ends up being wrong, that's not fair to anybody else. Right? And one of my biggest things is I don't want to communicate misinformation, especially for this community. Like, there's no way. I try really hard to keep it as factual as I can, and I don't go off of rumor, and I don't go off of hearsay. It has to be a public source that I can point to. And that's just part of the discipline in the group. That's a good idea, Lori Lee. Absolutely. Record it. I know I will be. I record everything, though. I'm a pain in the butt. But I enjoy being a pain in the ass. All right. Getting your medical records. And the free bit nobody mentions. A lot of you are trying to rebuild years of medical history for a reassessment. So one of us has a doctor willing to fill in the forms but needs old hospital dates going back before things were computerized. That is a huge job, and you do not have to do it by hand. Alberta Health Services holds hospital, emergency, lab, imaging, and specialist clinic records. There is a form called the Health Information Access Request. It will be going up on the website today. 3 things to know about it. A listing of visits is free. If what your doctor needs is the dates and the places rather than the contents of every visit, ask for the listing of visits and it costs you nothing. If you want the records themselves, okay, the form asks you to pick informal or formal. Pick formal every time. If you get the same records either way and the fee is the same, you get the same records either way and the fee is the same. But an informal request cannot be reviewed by the primary commissioner if they hold something back. A formal one can. So that difference is on page 3, and almost nobody reads that far. Okay? And ask your doctor's office first, because if the reason is treatment, they can request your records from Alberta Health Services directly. That is usually answered in a day or 2 at no charge, and it goes straight to them. Okay? There's one catch. Alberta Health Services does not hold family doctor or walk-in clinic records. Those live with each clinic, and you ask them separately. Okay? So very important, because I pulled all that up already. I think you were the one that sent me the form, Lori Lee. I think you were. I talk to so many people a week. Oh my goodness. But yeah. I'm glad that people are starting to request their records. Sometimes it's really hard to make certain letter sounds without teeth. All right. So do not buy it first. So if your doctor has suggested a cane, a walker, or other equipment, please do not go and buy one before you have been assessed. Aids to daily living will not pay you back for equipment you bought before they assessed and authorized it. That is their own rule in their own words. So ask your doctor to refer you to an AADL assessment first. Okay? There is normally a cost share where people pay a quarter of the cost, but people on low income and people getting income assistance do not pay it. Ask them to confirm you are exempt and to note it on your file before anything is ordered, rather than finding out at the till. Very important. Back to the chat. All right. It's weirdly quiet today. So the thing I noticed most this week. So 5 different people made a real decision this week based on a rule that is not written down anywhere. So somebody nearly canceled a paid trip. Somebody is holding off applying for a year. And somebody has been saving up medical travel claims for months to be considerate and may have put them at risk. So somebody was told she could be removed from the program. That's an interesting one. And somebody nearly bought equipment that would have or would not have been covered. Oh no, you can use receipts for income tax, but if there's a program that'll pay for it and make it so that you're not paying out of pocket and not risking, not getting all of the money back, it's worth it, right? Where is it here? So every one of them guessed, and every single guess was more restrictive or more expensive, and the rule than the rule probably is. That is not people being foolish. That is what happens when the rules are not published and the silence gets filled in, and it always gets filled in against us. So here is my ask for next week. We'll say for next week. Okay? If somebody tells you a rule and you cannot find it written anywhere, ask them where it is published. Ask in writing. If they cannot point you at anything, that is worth knowing too, and it is worth telling me. Okay? There's a lot of misinformation coming out of these offices. A lot of misinformation. So we need to start really making sure that we're pushing back on it, right? It's the whole accountability part of all of this, and it's the part that matters. So a letter is going to the minister with 14 questions on it. Most of them are some version of the same question. What is the rule, and where can the person it applies to go and read it? And the one good piece of news is this. Someone in here beat the silence this week by opening the regulation and reading it herself. Which is huge. I'm getting more and more people that are engaging with the actual government material, which is awesome. I want to see more and more and more of that, because the more information that we have, the more dangerous we are to the people that are trying to fuck us. Okay? Alright. We're almost done, and then I'll let you guys go and enjoy your Saturdays. On the payment problems. So the government's position is that the payment issues have been corrected in full. Yeah, right. Reporting says otherwise. Alright. Including people still unpaid into August, and nobody outside the government has confirmed it is fixed. Big surprise. Alright, so do not assume yours is sorted because somebody announced the program is over, or the problem is over. Check. And if something is wrong, put it in writing and keep the date. One more thing on this, because it is time sensitive and I do not want anybody caught by it. If your payment was cut or stopped, the window to appeal, it is 30 days. And it starts from the day you were told about the decision, not the day the statement arrives. So Alberta's own appeal guide says outright that you can appeal while you are still waiting for more information. Filing an appeal is not the same as fighting. You can withdraw it at any time. What it does is make a senior person in the program pull your file and look at it. Okay? Where is it here? And sometimes that settles it with no hearing at all. It can be a letter rather than the form. Your name, your file number, what decision you are appealing, and the date you were told. That is enough to stop the clock. Okay? So if you are not sure whether this is you, message me and we'll work it out together. Again, if you need help with emails, if you need help with wording, I'm here. Yeah, gotta reach into the box, because it's that time again. Aha! Alright, so the pink ribbon rose is our remembrance. It is for the ones who fell without support, the people in this community who did not make it through, and it says the thing the system never did. Your story mattered, your life mattered, and we carry you with us. When you wear one, it does two things at once. It remembers them, and it tells the living they are not alone, because somebody across a room wearing the same rose is someone who understands. If you would like one, message me. Your address, not in the chat, oh my god, not in the chat. I almost had a heart attack last time. You can email me, message me over Facebook. There's a rose pin order form on the website, and it comes to the campaign email address. Awesome. Okay, so there's more than one way to get one, and you are not forever limited to only 5. Okay? Where is it here? There is no charge, not now, not ever. And if you are one of those stubborn souls who cannot bear to take a thing for nothing, there is a donate option, but only if you truly cannot help yourself. Wear it for somebody, wear it for yourself. Either way, you are a part of this. So, one date before you go. If you started on AISH or ADAP after July 1st this year, the $100 Alberta energy rebate is not automatic for you, and the window closes September 30th. So everyone enrolled before July 1st was signed up automatically and does not need to do a thing. Okay? Big, big thing. All right. So that is the tea for today. If your head is full, you do not have to hold all of it. Pick the one piece that is yours and let me carry the rest until you need it. Message me anytime for a form, for the wording, or just to talk. There are more than 2,500 of us in here now, and every week somebody phones an office, asks a plain question, and comes back and tells us tells the rest of us what they were told. That is most of how we learn anything, and thank you for that. Drink your water, rest those shoulders, and be gentle with yourself this weekend. With love.
We are still here! A marching song by the Alberta Disability System Breakdown! Action! We're still here! UCP still here! We're still here! UCP still here! record is, a community is, a movement is. We are still here. And as long as we are still here,